and welcome to NERF News of the Owl Ranch, episode 9. And this week I've got some pretty good news for you guys and some really interesting developments. So let's get on it, shall we? First off, Adam Savage with his 1,000 round Nemesis. It's one of his one-day builds, and Adam Savage is a pretty good industrial designer. He built a satchel bag and a big case where you can put all your tools and stuff. It's on sale on his shop if you want to check it out. But it does raise a lot of things, okay? I get a lot of feedback from people that say he's kind of buying his way into the industry. He's only going to be famous because he's Adam Savage, all this stuff. I hear that, a lot of that. I've gotten a lot of messages about that. Well, here's the thing. Adam Savage is an industrial designer, okay? And he makes products and he makes stuff. He was on Mythbusters all those years. He's pretty smart. I actually like the fact that he's in the industry. And I like the fact that he's doing stuff. You know, I like the fact that he's modding stuff. As you know, he had one-day builds. He had his long strike that he built, and he did it as a Secret Santa. And then he has his Nemesis. Now, one of my friends, Luke Goodman, also known as Out of Darts, actually went on there and challenged him. And he put up a challenge and saying, hey, why don't we go against you? And Bob O'Bob put up there's this other guy who's got this 1,100 round, rifle blaster called Beer Can, and it does pretty good. Why don't we have like a showdown with that? Yeah. So I kind of like that. I would go to San Francisco to see the game, or Alameda, just to see the game. I would totally go and check it out. I encourage Adam to keep modding and keep playing and keep doing it, and I think it'd be really interesting. I think he can learn a lot from us, the veteran modders, on how to do that. Now, I gotta say though, this is not like some guy renting a big stadium. And by the way, that was a monumental task to rent a big stadium. Okay, like the Astrodome or the Superdome, and just freaking have a big, Nerf meet and try to break records. And I also don't think this is like Chris Hardwick picking up a Nerf blaster who didn't want to harm his pretty face, so he didn't invite me to any of his wars. He invited all my friends. And he's not, Adam Savage is not being a pussy about it. Okay, this is a guy that can legitimately mod and legitimately do it. Sure, he doesn't know everything we know yet, but come on, let's open our arms to him, man. Let's totally go for it, okay? So let's see. Today I went looking for the Delta Hooter, they call it. It's really called the Delta Trooper. $35. I didn't find one, but they're $35 online. What? Okay. The Retaliators are still $24.99 at Target. I'm going to show you that in a price report I'm going to do. I'm going to update that video, and I'm going to show you. So I'm doing inventory reports again. And I didn't find a Delta Hooter, but I found Retaliators for $24.99. Dude, get them. Okay, get them. Because the thing sucks. And why would I get a Delta Hooter when I can get a blaster for $55? Not shipped, but $55 from Singapore, CETA, where I can have a shotgun grip, I can have pick and rails, and I can have an M4 buffer tube and 4 stock. When you think about it, those mods from Explorer used to cost a fortune, and now $55. Speaking of CETA, that's good news. The bad news is, speaking of CETA, there's a bit of a controversy going on right now about it. As everybody knows, it's late and all that, and there's always hard feelings. So they weakened the spring on the demo version of the CETA that's on sale at Black Tactical. They weakened it, so it's doing 56 feet per second. Why? Well, it's actually a good reason. The darts that Black Tactical sells are Featherland darts, and Featherland darts are hard-headed. Okay, they're actually pre-FEJ, FEJs. That's not a joke. And I think that if you're going to demo the product, you need to demo them with the darts that come with them. From what I understand, there's something like ACC version 3 but full length, and if not, there's lots of soft-headed darts to be demoed. Jet should just buy like maybe 2,500 of them and give Black Tactical maybe a few hundred at a time. And it wouldn't be very expensive. You can go on Light Take or NF Strike and you can get some other darts, just as long as they're not darts that hang over the foam like a lot of your waffle heads do and this and that. I think you're fine. Plus, this isn't a steel breach anyway, it's an Omni breach, so it can be done. And just use the normal spring set, because this blaster needs to show what it can do in the shot. Okay, I'm giving it straight out. It needs to do that. So I know you guys listen to me. I know Jet Team watches me. Thank you for watching me. And I know Jet is also giving me 1, maybe 2 CETAs to review. So I will give everybody the skinny on it. And I've seen terrible blasters become great blasters. I've seen blasters that are wussy become not so wussy. I mean, this is now one of the most legendary girls' pistols ever made. Bird of Prey. This is a Type A, and as many of you have seen this week, I put up as my trailer blowing up a Coke can in my bathtub. Much harder than even the original Big Blue did. But back then, the original Big Blue was only doing 275. Now it's doing somewhere in the 350, 370 foot per second range. So it's much more powerful. And you can thank Turf Springs for that. And you can thank Turf Springs for this. Give credit where credit's due. And, wow. I also hit a house from, I measured it, 237 feet away. And I hit the side of the house. Okay? I had about half a degree of deflection because I was aiming for the house. And I counted with the video in 60 frames, so every time you see the dart move, it's 1/60th of a second. I counted 43 steps. Now, 43 steps, okay, times, 43 steps divided by 237 and multiplied by 60 gives you a speed of, there you go. I doodled that for you. That's the average speed from launch to there. I'm putting in mind there's jewel loss to there. So that means that this thing is really smoking fast ever since I put an 18.5 in here. Smoking fast, okay? How fast is it going exactly from the beginning? I don't know. I can tell you it's probably doing in the 350 range, 370 range, something like that. I was shooting pack-D heads, so you don't have as much jewel loss as you do with like foam padded heads, okay? So, if you think about it, that's pretty killer. That's very killer. So moving right along, we got a war tomorrow. Placentia, California. OC NERF is hosting it. Manhattan Beach NERF Club. If you want info on it, go. I encourage everybody I know to go. Just go to this war. The third prep before Armageddon, which is 2 weeks after that. Staten Elementary, June 23rd, 9:30 a.m. Everybody starts playing around 10:30. So that was the war I played at my last war. That was the venue I played. Venue I played last war. And Staten's a pretty cool place to play, especially with a lot of people. Yeah. If we get closed down or whatever, we'll just move to another place. No big deal. It's happened before, but we'll just move to another place. And it ought to be a pretty bitchin' war. So be there or be square. Okay. So moving right along. You know, Calibers are pretty cool. They're good infantry blasters. Last war, there was a guy with a Caliburn, and he hit me a few times the first couple of games. He did pretty well. But, you know, K26 is a good average spring. Gets you up to power, gets you the good rate of fire. But what if you were to really push a Caliburn? Okay? I mean, Wolfpack 3D, for example, really pushed the Caliburn. And they made it HPA. And now a company called Northeast Design is making a Caliburn based off a K14 McMaster-Carr spring. Now, that is really powerful. That's like 30 kilograms. That's really powerful. That guy can probably pull like 400 feet per second out of the thing. I've been looking up on it recently. Here's some footage on it. Check it out. He's redoing the grip on it. He's redoing a lot of the components on it to be a better blaster. He's not just taking the original CETA and just throwing the original Caliburn and throwing a big spring in there. It's actually being revised, and I think it would be really cool. He also built a chrono mag Word of advice: don't use a K26. Use a like a cut down turf or whatever. You can ask me for questions on it. I mean, if you want my help on it, just feel free to PM me, man. That's cool. But I think, wow, man. You know, I mean, a lot of wars, they have this 200 foot per second ceiling that came out of nowhere. I hate it myself. I'm just like, 200 foot per second, give me a break. There are some wars I'll go to, mod stock wars, where the limit's 200, and that's fine. But I want some Nick wars, you know, because what I play with are some pretty bad motor scooters. Like, for example, this one. I'm trying to get rid of all these junk version 3s that I bought ages ago that Hank said were great darts, and they of course weren't. You know, so let's see. You can see the recoil slap like a whole bunch of darts off the wings there. Yeah. Yeah. So I like that higher level of playing. And if anybody saw last war, that kid got hit by the dart, and he still walked away. Now, that was a pretty powerful blaster. That's a Turf 18.5 with an 11.5-inch barrel and PAC-D silicone Steffens. I hit him point blank. I didn't mean to hit him, but it was one of those reflex reactions, and I hit him. Okay? But he still got up, and he still kept playing. I mean, that's really cool. And then I've seen a lot of posts where people are like, oh, I just got hit by FEJs, and it's injured me. For battle, don't play FEJs. Not unless you're playing below like 150 feet per second. Then FEJs are okay. You're still going to get hurt more, but you know what? It's a sport. Deal with it. Okay? I'm telling you, though, that really saved my ass. The fact that I was able to get those silicone heads and play with silicone heads, and I didn't have to compromise for ACC version 3s. I got to really play with some professional level, you know, new old stock PAC-Ds, which were from 2013. So I really think that we need the silicone heads back. I do. If they're not made out of silicone, we can make them out of something else. I wanted to make them out of soft polyurethane that was the softest silicone. That's cool too. I really want to see these come back. And by the way, why buy a Delta Hooter when you can get one of these? Dude, freaking, you know, stock 8 stock. Alpha Trooper, 15 round, you know, worker mag. Dude, just freaking, these are great. Just go pick up one of these, you know. Yeah, they're going to be hard to find. They're going to be a little expensive, you know, elite Alpha Troopers. But I think that's going to do a lot better than a Delta Trooper. Well, actually, in terms of it comes with a shotgun grip and everything, I think it'll do better. In terms of the Alpha Hooter doesn't really have provisions for a shotgun grip, but trust me, we'll figure out a way to do it. We're modders. You know, the nice thing about it is we don't have this weak wireframe to deal with. So I think somebody will come up with a pretty good shotgun grip. Maybe Gavin, Fuzzy, or somebody will come up with something cool. But the blaster itself just looks ick. Maybe I'll see it in person and think differently. But ick, you know. And 34 bucks. And I could buy a Ceta with all those features for 55. And even, I promise you this, that one, I will tell you the truth about the Ceta. I will tell you what it can and can't do, and I will, even if it is junk, I will show you how to build it. Make it great. I'm non-partial, but honestly, I think it offers a lot. Okay, I even ran with the very first Ceta. I didn't run, well, not played with it, but I got to design it until it was decided to make a 2-piece design, and it was actually very good. Here, let's show this footage right here. I want you to see this. So here we are. We got the new Ceta right here, the new Ceta prototype. It's not going to be the final product, but I did a lot of fit and work with the magazine. As you can see, it's not loose, it's not tight, perfect. I worked with a lot of the trigger stuff. The prototype that came from Explorer was very proprietary. It raised the catch too high to 1 inch because theirs was 1 inch, but I made it so it will fit a 7/8. Also, I put a trigger stop on this in the back, and we're going to make it so I have a shorter spring hook for the trigger, but we're going to make this cross-compatible with any Retaliator parts that anyone has. That's Artifact, that's Explorer, that's Forge Bombers, it's everybody. And Alan is up there right now, catting the crap out of this, working his ass off, okay? Alan goes, he's our head engineer, I'm the product engineer. But I'm doing my fit and finish work, giving him updates. So we are working as solid as we can to make this as compatible as possible with all the parts, and the performance is pretty good. This is long shot too. It's pretty nice, pretty nice. That was using a NERF Turf 10 kilogram spray. By the way, flatten the ends on those, they'll fit. You just have to flatten the ends. They're round and they're a little long, but if you flatten them, they'll work with a normal, they'll work with a normal retaliator system just fine. I mean, look at that S dart go. Yeah! Yeah, baby, yeah! All right, I think we're done. So that was the original Explorer shell with an M4 stock, and it had a shotgun grip that was a little too sharp. It was the one that was at the Singapore conference, but I had reworked it for stock internals, not the proprietary Explorer internals, and I got it working. But it was decided after that to make it just a two-piece design. And if you think about it, Ceda's been through 3 designers. Okay, been through Hang. That's what you saw in that last video. That was his design. Then Alan Go from Jet worked on it. Then he quit, and then now a new designer worked on this. I don't know who he is, but I know Alex didn't work on it, because in a recent post, Alex Kong said I didn't work on it. And I only did a few adjustments. I made it able to shoot with Retaliator internals, but off the base shell, and that was transferred to the new design. And I worked on some spring spacing on it. I made the plunger rod on it, and I was asked to make some things like the bolt stud and this and that's it. That's all I did. I didn't really do that much. Little projects like that. But I have high hopes. A lot of people think it's junk. A lot of my friends say, you know what, why are you even talking to these guys? It's like, well, because I'm community. And I want to be an example of community, guys. Okay, so I was like, why even talk to Jet Blasters? Well, I'll tell you. Because I want to promote the idea that being a better sport and being a better player and having better ethics is what's going to win. The only way to beat this is together, okay? Otherwise, we're going to have people like Worker. We're going to have people from a lot of Chinese companies. And I'm not racist to Chinese people. They are fucking great people. My landlord was Chinese. He's awesome. I went to Singapore. I met so many cool Chinese people. They're awesome people. They're rad. They have great personalities. They're fun to talk to. Their women are cute. I mean, you want to meet cute girls? Go to freaking Singapore or Japan. I kid you not. I mean, I'm into cute people. That's me. Not tall, beautiful, cute, adorable. Okay. And and they were nice. It's just that the ethics I don't like. The communist ethics I don't like. And it's not red communism. It's more republic communism. But still, I don't like that philosophy of just take somebody's idea, build it, and we're in China, so who cares? We don't have any laws. We don't have any of this. We don't have any of that. That is kind of not cool. You know what I'm saying? So, at any rate, this is Chris Cartea saying, don't you go changing, or I'll find you. Peace out. And this was from my friend Caleb Morris. He gave me this, and this works really great. Now you see me, now you don't. It's kind of like that episode of The Sopranos. Don't stop believing.